Hey there, welcome to another episode of Fans in Motion, the ultimate Night Ranger podcast. Joining me, like always, Mr. Bath Salts himself. I'm glad he's fucking, clothed today. You never know when he turns on the Zoom what you're going to find, there with my buddy, Dave Nadelman. Dave Nadelman, how are you doing?
It's a mystery to me if I'm going to have clothes on when you hit record. So who knows? You never know. I'm doing well, Josh.
That's the
Doing
reason
well.
why I say, hey, let's record every day. I just up those chances. Um,
Yeah, you do.
Introduce me.
Josh, there is nothing to say to you that hasn't already been said, which
Who's
is a
your
good thing and a
who's your
bad thing.
co-host? Who's your co-host?
Here we have Mr. Josh Christopherson, the ultimate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not my that's not my
I,
name.
I need to work on it.
That's not my name. That's not my name. My name is Turd Ferguson. Tell me you know who Turd Ferguson is.
I kind of think I don't. I don't.
All right, you need to go back, watch some 90s SNL Celebrity Jeopardy with what's his head is Sean Connery and Norm Macdonald is Burt Reynolds. Good
Okay.
stuff. Yeah. Where Sean Connery's, chooses the category and Will Ferrell's Alex Trebek and the it's Jeopardy. The sound a dog makes. And Sean Connery beeps in, he goes, Moo. And uh Alex Trebek goes, incorrect. And he goes, that's the sound your mother made last night, Trebek. Ha ha ha. And then he like, we would accept it bow wow or rough. Oh, rough, just the way your mother likes it. See, good mom jokes.
Josh,
Damn it.
I think we're skewing away from the topic at hand.
No, it's Turd Ferguson. Um, oh man, I should have got my big hat. Anyways, I'll find a link. I'll put it on the page. Y'all need to know it. So anyways, like a news notes and minutia episode where we're going to talk all kinds of things going on in the Night Ranger world. Um, where do we kick off?
I say we kick off
That
with the
wasn't kick off.
biggest.
That was more lead off.
We should lead off with the biggest news that we've received.
What
See,
is
you don't know
that?
what that is, do you?
I don't know.
No. So we had a little announcement from Viewpoint Records.
Viewpoint Records.
I haven't heard of Viewpoint Records, but
So
go ahead.
yeah. So we had there was rumblings. That's all I can say it was. I didn't know really much about it. Maybe Neverland being released on vinyl. That's really about all I knew, that it may happen. And then our buddy Lonnie sent me a message one morning or night or whatever. I think I saw it in the morning with a order form or order link to the Miami Merchant Metal Wizard or something, um, for Neverland on vinyl. And it's one of the last releases. Well, there's a few. I mean, I guess there's a lot of releases still left we need on vinyl, but we got 7 on vinyl a couple years ago, and we are getting Neverland
We're
on.
not missing too many of them.
Well, I guess for it to be readily available, you're going to need. I mean, you don't have Live in Japan on vinyl. You don't have Mojo on vinyl. You don't have Hole in the Sun on vinyl. Uh, you High Road and Don't Let
And
Up
are
need
rare.
need to be reissued.
Yeah.
So um, there you go. But Neverland's on vinyl. It's a legit, you know, release. Um, like you said, it's on what we say it was Viewpoint or
Viewpoint Records.
Viewpoint Records, and uh, it has, it sequences real nice with the flavor of the record being blue and gray that they're going to release it on orange vinyl.
Yeah.
Um, I don't.
Somebody made that decision.
I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can think of is, we got a lot of Night Ranger colors, but we don't have orange. That's the only thing I can think of, or unless they were running a deal with the factory, you know,
Yeah, we
fuck
got
it,
all this orange wax
yeah.
lying around and
Um, because we got green and blue and yellow and red and um, the blue,
silver.
yeah, well, do we? I don't fuck, I don't know. The blue was Neverland, or not Neverland, but somewhere in California. And did we have a blue ATVPO? I
We
can't.
did from view from the
Yes.
comics,
Yep.
Newberry Comics.
So, that's the only thing I think of is there's no orange out there. And
Well, if you think about it, Josh, there's tons of vinyl now that are coming out on just all this different kind of splatter designs and patterns. And
Mhm.
why couldn't have they done the album cover jacket as one of those
Well,
designs?
here's the thing.
That would have been cool. I mean, I'm not saying why they
Here,
didn't do it, but that would have been cool.
here's what I would do if I was doing this is it doesn't really matter what color that is. If you're buying Night Ranger Neverland on vinyl, you want Night Ranger Neverland on vinyl. It's not, oh, I would get that, but it's black vinyl. I'm not getting it.
That
So
yeah,
so the color to me doesn't matter. Now, the reason, okay, so if you get a colored vinyl, one color solid, that's one price bracket. To add a second color in there, and then depending on what it is it a swirl? Is
is
it
it a
like
pattern? Yeah,
is it like these fucking like chunk mark type deal? I don't know. It costs more. So I can see why maybe they're not putting two colors in there. But my thing would be is, okay, you're going to pay, if it's the same price, which I mean, maybe it could be to do either black or orange. Okay, maybe. But like to me, I would just do black vinyl.
yeah,
And
I agree.
then everybody buys it that wants it. And then print a next. I mean, usually, I don't know, agreements can be different, but, usually what happens is, if you're going to license that, you're going, okay, I got the license for 3 years. Um, the license includes how you're going to sell it. Are you going to sell it directly through your site or are you going to sell it through Amazon? You have to, that pays a little bit different. Um, and then, how many copies are you allowed to sell? And you're not allowed to like mark them down for like a certain amount of period. So, it's like to me, so if I'm okay, I got a license, I can sell 5,000 copies. Maybe I print 3,000 black, and 2,000 orange and just put the black up first. And then a year later, I sell the orange ones. I don't know. I mean, uh,
Well, this is not in the States, apparently. It is an import.
well, yeah, I mean, imports are a little bit different. I mean, everything from Frontiers is an import. Okay. So everything from Frontiers is printed in Italy. Um, if you get a Kiss record, it's manufactured in Czech Republic. So import, that word import is a little bit different than what we used to do in the 80s and 90s.
Well, if you think about, I mean, on Amazon it says it's an import. So like normally it wouldn't even say it on, and if you really can't find it anywhere else in the US other than that music, Miami metal.
Well, that may just be the fact that it's Night Ranger Neverland. I mean, we're not, outside, you know, a circle of nerds. It's not something that's, I mean, it's not Seven Wishes. It's not a remix of Big Life, something like that. I'm just going to look up here. I'm going to look up, I want to see what like ATBPO or something um, comes up as the vinyl from like Frontiers, if it even comes up as a, um, like you said, an import. All right, the
But normally
red.
Amazon wouldn't say import on it. In this case it does. And that's on the US, that's on the US Amazon site.
Well, either way, you don't have to pay for it as an import. You
Right.
can get it off the U.S. Amazon. Whatever we said, the original post that Lonnie made, the metal
Miami
Miami
metal merchant.
They got it. There's some other online stores that have it as well, but I guess probably the safest is Amazon. Um,
Yeah.
or go to your local record store, and see if they'll order it for you. I mean, support them. But I did find somewhere this photo. That's I don't know where I found it now. And it's probably nothing. I mean, all it is an orange vinyl put behind Neverland, but I did see that somewhere on an order, uh, you know, where on a page that you could order, it had that photo. So, yeah, there you go. Some Night Ranger
At the end of
or
the day, it's going to be good to because we've been wanting that one for,
Mhm.
specifically people have been wanting that for a while.
And if you go to the UK Amazon site, you can order it in the UK, and I think you get it like a week or two, something even earlier than the US. Um, and I can't see all the headline of it, but the description, you don't see the whole thing, but it starts with the word clear. Well, I saw somewhere else when they were advertising this that they described it as clear orange vinyl. So I don't want you, I can't say for sure, but I don't want you to think that that Amazon one in the UK that where you can just see the word clear is going to be clear because I've seen that description say clear orange vinyl. Um, so,
Well, clear and orange are kind of conflicting. So is it clear?
well,
Or is
so
it maybe it's translucent orange or maybe it's
it'd be more the translucent. It wouldn't be so I'm trying to think of some of my records here. So ATBPO, that's colored vinyl, but that's not clear. That was a thick, solid color. To whereas, and I probably don't have really anything readily available. You can also, but you can get vinyl that's clear, a color clear, but you can kind of see through it.
it's like kind of translucent that you can see
Yeah.
through it. Yeah, yeah, I've
So,
seen those.
so that's what I'm thinking it is it's a clear orange, but you know. So Neverland on vinyl. So that is
Eh,
good for the 2026 year.
Yeah. And do
What
we
else?
know if it's a limited run or we don't know. We don't know if it's so many copies, right?
You know, I have no idea. I mean,
When I say limited, I mean, yeah, if they have 5,000, if they're able to do 5,000 is one thing, but is it like
I have,
Newberry advertised 300 of ATBPO when they had
well,
it?
you got to remember they were, there were four different color variants coming out at the same time. This isn't competing against anything. So
Right.
my guess is there has to at least, I would say, for it to make any sense, be 500 copies. Um, for that to even, make sense of,
And did you go ahead and make your pre-order, Josh?
I did,
Nice. From Amazon,
because
UK, US.
I ordered a couple from the Miami guy,
Okay.
and I ordered a couple from Amazon. So there we go.
There we go.
All right. Anything more about Neverland? I mean, we're going on, God, 29 years. Can you believe that?
It's like it came out yesterday.
And one of the song, what was the song that? So last year we did the March Madness, and we did all these songs after the classic era. So basically, feeding off the Mojo one. And if I remember correctly, Forever All Over Again won it. Um, and if I also remember correctly, um, oh, is it Somehow I Remain? Somewhere, somehow? What's the first word?
Uh,
Anyways, that song.
yes.
Uh, that made the top four. Because I remember talking to Jack at a coffee shop in Michigan. Um, and we were talking about the March Madness thing, and he was kind of surprised, and so was I, that uh, um, whatever.
As always, I remain.
As
As always,
always, I'm thinking of I'm
someday I
confused.
will. You're
Yeah,
confusing with
yeah, yeah.
someday I will. Yeah.
As all well, no, wait. Someday I will. That was the one, right? I don't fucking know. One of those two songs made it to the goddamn Final Four, and it was amazing. Uh, but they a really good record. Uh, it was. I think when we talked about it in an episode, I kind of just described it as top heavy, bottom heavy. It's like there's six songs that just really fucking are great. And this is again to me. And then there's six songs I was like, hey, I could do without Slap, like Being Born and My Elusive Mind, you know. But
My elusive mind is, but there are, yes,
you know,
it's top heavy, but it's scattered top heavy. It's kind of,
I mean, I think to me, like New York Time, Walk in the Future, Forever All Over Again, As Always I Remain, Someday I Will. Look at that. I fucking ringed them off just
yeah,
like
you
nothing.
did with that.
Um, and Neverland, I thought those, bam, those are solid tracks. And like, yeah, I Don't Call This Love. I was like, yeah, it's an attempt.
See,
Something's,
New York Time, I just, I can't get behind, I can't
dude,
get with that song. I don't know
dude,
what it is.
that is Brad and Jeff just kicking so much ass in that song. That is some of their best playing. I mean, it's like 2 minutes almost, I think, of them just fucking going back and forth. And, um, plus Fitz's little. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, oh, yes, Night Ranger in Chinatown. And then bam, fucking rock and roll. All right. Um, so there you
Well,
go.
it's great to have, it's going to be great to have that
Mhm.
in the collection.
And I think a lot of people are buying it. And there we go. Hopefully, we get some more good stuff. So, hey, let's quickly talk about the last episode of Fans in Motion. What was it? Nadelman? I don't remember.
The last episode was the live albums of the 70s.
Ah, that one was horrible. Um,
Oh, come on.
yeah, so hey, we got some things coming up. We're kind of stalling for time, and we kind of like, hey, well, what about, let's talk about some records. And that we did. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go back and check out last week's episode where Nadelman, Florida man, bath salts, relatively sober right now. Um,
Completely sober.
uh, we each picked our three, personal favorite live records from the 70s. We talked a little bit about Night Ranger and Rubicon and, live record that, Rubicon was on. And also, I'm talked to Jack and Kelly and Keri and Eric, and I got their favorite live records from the 70s.
But you're
So
not going to tell everybody what it is because they have to watch the episode.
yeah, I'm not. You got to go back and watch it if you don't know. You want to know what Jack played his favorite record, live record from the 70s. And it's like funny when I messaged them, like it was instant. Like they didn't have to think. Hey, what was your favorite live album from the 70s, jackass? Bam! Carpenters. I was like, shit, So yeah, so it was fun to, kind of go a little bit outside the wheelhouse there. So go check it out. What other news, notes, and minutia do we have, Dave Nadelman? I will tell you.
Tell me.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, you want me to tell you? Okay.
I
Well,
felt
we
like,
got you. Well, you started saying it, then you're like, well, I'll tell you. And then,
yeah, I feel like I take over, but it's the
no, you
conservative
don't
in
take
me.
over. You never take over, Josh.
So, well, I got a vision, I got a goal. All right. And we're not heading that way. We're heading the other direction, but I still got one. So Kelly Keagy, have you heard of him?
I do believe I've heard of him. Yes. Yes.
Kelly
Very nice.
Keagy,
Nice guy. Nice guy.
Kelly Keagy, Kelly Keagy.
Maybe the G is silent and it's Kelly Keehee.
So Kelly Keagy
Yeah.
on January 9th posted the amazing team working on songs at the Fullwell Recording Studio in Phoenix. David Prater producing, kicking them harder. I'm on the sidelines with a fire extinguisher. Look for a new Kelly Keagy solo album towards the end of the year. Um, so there we go. I mean, I know I've hinted about it for years. People have asked me for updates. Yeah, I mean, it's happening. Uh, Kelly's excited about it. I'm definitely excited about it. Prater, David Prater, those that don't know, produced the Feeding Off the Mojo record.
Right.
He also produced some of his biggest records there were in the early 90s. He produced the first two Firehouse records and the Dream Theater record, Words and Images. And he produced Arcade, the first Arcade record, which had Stephen Pearcy from Rat on vocals and Fred Curry from Cinderella on drums. Fantastic record, by the way. Yeah, so if you're wanting some good like hard rock, go check out um, Arcade. Um, their big kind of hit off that record, like a rock ballad, was a song called "Calm Before the Storm."
Was it a
So
90s record?
'93 maybe.
Okay.
So great bass sound. I always loved the bass. I don't know who the bass. I can't remember who the bass player was on that record, but the bass sound they got on that record is phenomenal. Really good record. The second record that came out in '95, just called A2, not as good. The first five songs were pretty were pretty solid, but by '95, I mean, nothing was
Yeah.
getting played. I mean, Arcade got some radio play even in '93. I wonder. I don't know if um, let's see here. So yeah, like I said, the good song or the ballad was was Calm Before the Storm. And let's see if I can find.
I don't remember it, but I'll have to look it up.
So Arcade, released in 1993, Nothing to Lose. That was the rock song. When you ain't got nothing, nothing, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, fucking awesome. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to
And it was
lose.
just Fred Corey and Stephen Pearcy as the known name, as
A-
known.
As the known, yeah, guys, and great album. Cry No More was a good song. Dancing with the Angels was a good song. Frankie Wilsex and Donnie Syracuse were the guitar players. Michael Andrews was the bass player. So there you go. Um, but anyways, Piercy or Stephen, yeah, Piercy's producing. No, David Prater's producing it. This is going to be a different record. I mean, I mean, so Kelly's got two solo records. 2001, 2003, maybe, are the the release dates, maybe 2004. The first one was Time Passes. The second one was I'm Alive. Both are phenomenal records. Track them down, listen to them. Um, Time Passes had some really strong, heavy stuff on it, along with some melodic stuff. I'm Alive was a really rocking record. This album is kind of, pulled back. This is a guy, that's reflecting and stuff like
Right.
that. And it's not those records, which, I tell him it's okay. We're not the same people we were 20 years ago either, you know. I can barely lift my fucking arm anymore, it seems like, with all the shit my shoulder's going through. So, um, yeah, so more information we get, the more we're passing along. I talked to Kelly a little bit last weekend, and um, I think we're going to do some stuff and get that ball rolling. So there you go, with Kelly Keagy. And there is not a new studio album. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. But there should be some fun Night Ranger stuff coming out this year as well. So, I don't want to,
My mind is working right now on what that could be, and
eh,
I'm thinking, and I'm
yeah.
hoping what I'm thinking is what I'm thinking.
So, um, and
Not that I know anything.
talking about the fans of motion page, there was an individual, Robert Hainline, posted a comment, something about only you only. It should have been a hit or something like that.
Only
And
for you only.
yeah, that one too. Um, and yeah, got me thinking like what a great song that is, and you know, be awesome if it reappeared or something somewhere. I don't know. But but yeah, Robert Hainline posted that. What else?
Is that on?
That is on High Road.
Is it on High Road or is it on? You know, it is on High Road. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yep. So steer me in the right direction. Don't go wacky.
I'm not
What
going.
else? What else is in the the Night Ranger news notes and minutia
Well,
world?
we got a bunch of dates coming up
Oh,
in.
fuck those dates.
Come
So
on, man.
where we're going is last weekend. What did we have in California?
Was the NAMM show?
There you go. Fucking big brain on rye.
Yep,
All
yep.
right. So Bradley Gillis of Rubicon and Arm& and Hammer and Night Ranger.
He also played with Ozzy too, I believe.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of
Um,
somebody else. All right, go ahead.
but so he went to NAMM, and there's obviously a lot of pictures out there, him at the Floyd Rose booth and some
You
other
want to
stuff.
explain what the NAMM show is before you continue for those of us who may not
Um,
know? Not us, but
yeah, I mean, so two things. One, to me, I just remember being a kid and opening up the rock magazines, and they would do a profile at NAMM, and just seeing everybody like, God, it'd be so great to be there, you know. But NAMM is really where, you know, the the industry basically puts on a big convention.
the National Association of Music Merchandising, I believe, is the
Yeah, I
acronym.
don't think I knew even what the acronym
Well,
meant.
there you go. Now you know.
I know, knowing's half the battle. Uh, and basically, you got, Floyd Rose will have a booth, and this company becomes, every company will have a booth, and if they have like, okay, they endorse, George Lynch. George Lynch may come by that booth at certain hours and perform with that product and sign autographs um, but it's something they do every year. It's a big thing. I mean, uh, and then at night you have different places have different performances. If I know in the past, I think you had like a damn Yankees reunion. I think Jack, Brad, Tommy, and Ted got back together, and I don't know, 11, 8, somewhere in there, and it was acoustic, and they did some stuff. I know they've done stuff where Tommy has joined Night Ranger at some of the NAMM stuff. Um, so
Tommy and Jack also have done some Shaw Blade stuff
at
at the
at
NAMM
NAMM,
shows.
okay. So one of the shows they were doing there was the Ronnie Montrose Remembered, which they've been doing for a few years now. Every year they do that Ronnie Montrose Remembered, where they just got a whole bunch of people showing up, and Brad jumped on stage. I don't remember what song he performed, but he played a couple songs up there, and there was a picture of Reb Beach posted of him and Brad. And for those that don't know, Reb Beach from Winger um, was a Night Ranger for a hot minute back in 2007, replacing Jeff Watson. Um, I saw them in September of '07 with Reb, Michael Lardy from Great White being on keyboards. And no, at that time, Michael Lardy wasn't with them. Christian
Christian
Cullen was.
Cullen.
Um, but um, so Red Beach posted, actually Brad sent it to me first, and it's like, yeah, definitely, let's post that, which we never did, but Reb did. Question out there. I don't think I've ever seen one. I don't know if they exist. Does anybody have a Reb Beach Night Ranger guitar pick? If you do, post it to the page or take a picture or just fucking ask me for my address and send it to me. As I don't think I have one.
And you have everything.
Yeah. Now, pick wise, I'm not a big collector on picks, so um, I can't. All
Fuck
right.
that guy, man. Don't
Yeah,
don't do
no.
this.
Brad Gillis. You don't. It's like, dude, it's like $200 to meet that guy. Hey. Oh, very much so. Hey, once. Hold on. Let me pause. I'm recording right now. You can say hi to all the fans, though.
You're recording right now?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm going to pause it. recording is back, right, Dave? Did I
We
successfully pause that?
we hope so.
There you go. The boss man, heard us talking about NAMM, and he wanted to call in and say, "Hey, you guys are doing a fantastic job, and I'm glad to see that the that Nadelman hasn't had to use any Narcan recently." So there we go. So yeah, if you got a Reb Beach guitar pick, I'd love to see it.
A Red Beach Night Ranger
Red
guitar
Beach.
pick.
Yeah, there we go. Um, so another interesting thing, Dave,
Hmm.
is on Kiss's social media. They posted, bam, bam. Let's see here. Where's it at? So, 6 days ago, on this day in history, January 22nd, 1983, the Creatures of the Night Tour rocked the Centrum in Worcester, Massachusetts. Night Ranger opened the show. Where did you catch the Creatures tour? And they show the advertisement from the newspaper, and it says yes, with special guests, Night Rangers,
Does
plural.
it say that?
Yeah. So it's shared to the Night Ranger or the Night Ranger page. Oh, and by the way, if those who maybe aren't watching but are listening and didn't see the screen, Brad Gillis called in, um, and we had to pause the recording real quick to talk to Brad Gillis and let him know that Florida Man is doing well. Uh,
He was concerned about me.
he
Yes.
was. Did you see Dave Nadelman? I think it's like the Professor Nick Harrison. Is that what his name is? Does that sound right? Yes, the Professor Nick Harrison. So, African American gentleman with the gray long beard, and he
Yes.
kind of
Yes.
does
Yes.
different, things. I think now he makes like, a rock song into like yacht rock and, different. And he did a soul version of Sister
I
Christian.
did hear that. Yep.
So, um, if you go to like social media, I think if you just type in Professor Nick Harrison, I know on Facebook you'll come up. I think maybe you just got to type in Nick Harrison on Instagram, but go check that out. It's a cool little, you know, rendition
He was getting
of,
into it. He was getting into it.
yeah. And it's kind of cool. Like you hear after the first verse, you hear horns, in Sister Christian, and yeah, it's just really good. Um, I sent it. Brad sent it to me. I sent it to Kelly. Kelly was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" So, good stuff. Let us know what you think of it. I think they should do a whole record like that.
I'm for it.
So, yeah, let's talk about some new dates. What all do we got there, Turbo?
We got some. I know we got some Florida dates coming up
Oh,
mid-February.
yeah, Florida dates. Oh, yeah, it's fun in the sun.
We got
Um,
a Sarasota show and a Melbourne
yes,
show.
yeah, soda.
On yeah,
So nothing this weekend. Um, so yeah, the 13th
Friday the
February,
13th.
Sarasota Fairgrounds and
That's a.
Melbourne.
I think the Sarasota one is a like a
Oh yeah. Oh,
bikers
why
festival.
aren't you going to that one, man? Fucking hop on the back of one of them motorcycles and where they have the hot dog hanging from the string and you gotta get your mouth to get it.
My hog's in the shop. Sorry.
Yeah. Um, so there you go. And then the weekend after, Night Ranger is in Des Plaines, Illinois, and St. Charles, Illinois, at the Arcadia Theater.
Are you coming down to Florida for a show, Josh?
I
Come on.
am not. I am not. Carrie's do well. I'll bring this in this weekend. Well, we're going to release this next week, so it's already in the past. So last Saturday, uh, Evolve Brewing, Keri Kelli's newest restaurant venture, celebrated its 1 year anniversary. Um, you know, Me and Keri went and had a couple beers a couple weeks ago and invited me out, and I was trying to make it work. I almost did, and I just don't think I'm gonna be able to pull it off with everything that's going off, but I need to do it. But So yeah, Evolve
You got to dig
Brewing.
yourself out of your house first with all the snow, right?
That's true. Um, so Evolve Brewing, if you're not following Keri Kelly's himself, make sure you follow Evolve Brewing and Aces and L's. You got the Aces and L's restaurant there at what the hell's uh,
Vegas.
Tenya, right outside of Vegas, and then Aces and the Evolve Brewing's right outside in Vegas, an area called the Bend. It's on the west side. Cool place. Definitely go check it out. Well, hopefully you checked it out last Saturday. Um, what else we got Night Ranger wise? Bam, bam. What about Night Ranger in North Dakota, St. Michael? Night Ranger in Morton, Minnesota at Jackpot Junction. Those are March 13th and 14th. I don't know if this one's even been announced yet. So let's see here. Bam, bam, bam. So it's a Georgia date. I don't know. You would think it would be you think it would be already. I'm kind of glancing here. Let's just see it, see if that's there. God, there ain't nothing even. I will look it up. There's supposed to be something in Georgia in March. I don't want to, did I say March? Yeah. I don't want to, announce it too early. But yeah, there's that.
Well,
What
they're
else?
also coming back to Florida
They
in
are
April.
April 18th, Clearwater, Florida, supporting,
17th in St. Augustine and
yeah,
April 18th in Estero, Florida.
correct. Both times they're supporting Foreigner. Um, Before that, they're going to be on the Monsters of Rock cruise. At the beginning of May, they're going to be in Milan, Italy at the Frontiers Fest. Um, they are going to be May 8th in Lincoln, Rhode Island. I may be at that one. If you want an official Josh Christopherson autographed 8 by 10, that would be a good place for you to get one. This one,
Wheatland, California at the Hard Rock in Sacramento.
yeah, there's another date that hasn't been announced yet. I'm just going to say in the South. So that's all I'm going to tell you there. Um, what was the one you were talking about? Let's see here. There's a Nevada date maybe out there pending. I don't think's been announced yet. Maybe another Dakota. Like I said,
Vermont, they're playing Vermont.
correct. When was the Sacramento date?
The Sacramento date is June 20th.
Hmm. All right, that one's not been updated. Uh, yeah, so there's another. Yeah, so that one's been announced, just went on sale. So Sacramento, June 20th.
Wheatland, California.
Let's see here. What date's that?
That's the Sacramento one.
Oh,
It's at the Hard Rock
yeah,
Live
yeah.
Sacramento. So I'm
What's the
assuming
what's the next date on the calendar you got?
after that
Hmm?
is the Essex Junction, Vermont.
What date?
That is September 6th.
Okay, so there's some dates in between that. I don't think have
Obviously, we haven't even touched the summer.
been announced yet. I think you're going to have some, somewhere maybe, Missouri, Illinois, probably some Wisconsin stuff um, out there. Let's see what else. What has been announced is August 22nd, Night Ranger Monsters on the Mountain, which is always a good time, like a 3-day event. I've
Yeah,
been to a couple of them. Vermont in September 6th. That's with Brett Michaels. I may be at that one as well. So there you go for that.
never been to Vermont, Josh. I've never been to Vermont.
I
One of the few
think
states I haven't.
I haven't either. I have not been to Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and Rhode Island, and that's really it on the East Coast. So um, I'm hoping with Night Ranger to knock out two of those.
Check.
There is possibly a fall California date, and
Well, after the Sacramento, there really isn't anything in the summer that's been announced, or it's
well,
not on their website
so there's
anyway.
some stuff that's yet to be announced, and there are some stuff that they're working on. That's all I can say. Um, so you should hear something in the next
How
month or
about
so.
Vermont for FimFest too, huh? Huh?
Oh yeah, fucking booze at night and maple syrup in the morning.
You got it.
So there you go. What about Tom Shape?
What about Tom Chapin?
Did you see his Conte Razors Cafe design?
I believe he puts so many designs up I can't keep track of them anymore.
Fuck that guy.
The guy is talented. You got to give him that.
Yeah.
But he's a
Well,
Steelers fan too, so
yeah,
there's a line, right?
yeah. I mean, you know, it is a thin line. But yeah, Tom Chapin put the Conte Razors Cafe made like a little, I don't know, business design, like t-shirt design, which, all of us know Conte Razors Cafe from Sentimental Street in the Avenues. And he also did one for Johnny's Seaside Cafe, which is what,
Johnny Seaside Inn.
and yeah, that one too. Don't start thinking I'm alone tonight. Right? That's the song.
It is.
So there you go. If you get a chance, all this stuff is mainly on the Fans in Motion Facebook page. Just go to your Facebook, search Night Ranger Fans in Motion, click join, and if you are a person of questionable character, I will accept you. Um, a couple weekends ago, I joined Night Ranger on the road for a couple shows in Indiana. Night Ranger was playing Lafayette, and Night Ranger was playing Wabash right after that. Very kind of close. Usually it's not that close to where, we rented a truck and we used my truck and we kind of used that along with the crew, had a couple trucks and that's how we moved. They didn't even have a bus for this one, but what was
Toss Derek Levy in the hatch.
we did threw him right back there and um, hit the road. So Lafayette, I got in the night before and uh, you know, hung out with Ed and the guys and picked a couple guys up from the airport. So the next day I was killing a little bit of time and I went to a record shop in Lafayette called JL Records.
Okay.
Possibly the largest record store I've ever been to.
Really?
This place was monstrous. Uh, had everything on CD. Now they have a decent vinyl selection upstairs, but their whole downstairs is CDs and they had everything. And I mean everything. And the place is huge and they've just got all the cool like promo stuff like Ozzy Osbourne's More Tears, cardboard cutout that came out when the record came out. They got that on the wall and they got signed pictures from 20 years ago and just everything, like old promo posters and stuff on the wall. Um, Very cool place. JL Records, I guess it started in 79 and they moved to that location in 84. Absolutely everything on CD. Now everything is kind of like top of the market price. You weren't really getting any deals, but you could walk in and hey, I want the fourth record, you know, from Jefferson Airplane, and they would go over and they got all of them. You know, you, it was so crazy. I'll kind of this ain't going to do it justice. Obviously, I'm showing a picture on a, but that just right there just shows you.
And there's an upstairs, you're saying?
Well, there's a whole other side, and there's an upstairs. So, like when I went to Night Ranger, it said, also see Damn Yankees Brad Gillis. So I went over to Brad Gillis, and they sure as shit had a section for Brad Gillis.
Now that's big when you're able to like pinpoint when you're throwing out individual members. Now, was
Hmm.
that Brad Gillis solo stuff there? I mean, or was it
They
more
they
night?
didn't have it. They had a Night Ranger single in there.
Oh, okay,
Damn Yankees, C Sticks, Night Ranger, Ted Nugent. Up on their wall, they had autographed records, and you can kind of see they had a Midnight Madness one. Can't really see it, but right there,
I
Midnight
see it.
Madness.
Yep.
All right. Um, they had this. Like I went and looked for this, and they had it. I'm like, this place does have everything. They had a Metal Warrior section.
A Metal Warrior section.
Yeah, like see the Metal Warrior in the back. They had like a little, you
Wow.
know.
Yeah,
So, and then they had a 45s little area, and they were like $3 and $5. I haven't bought them, but they had
it's a story you could spend the entire day in. It looks like.
well, a lot of it's CDs.
Okay.
So, but like I said, just for the selection and the ambiance of it. So I did for love when you close your eyes on 45, and then I got a 45 at 4 in the morning promo version. They did have ATBPO and Somewhere in California on vinyl. Look at this. I was like, holy shit. They had a section of Rubicon, and they had both records. Now, again, for that selection, both of those records for $15 each, which, I mean, it's not horrible, but, you can get total cost and shipping off eBay $10.
Yeah.
But if let's say you just don't do that and you go in, hey, I want a fucking 1978 Rubicon record. Yeah, just go to our Rubicon section. It's there. Um, so uh, so as I was leaving, I had Night Ranger stuff, and they were like, "Oh," and when I walked in, right there by the register, they had the poster for that night's show. So I'm like, "That's cool," promoting the show and um, um, so I was checking out and I had Night Ranger stuff. Oh, you going to the show tonight? I'm like, yeah, I do social media for the band and stuff, and I was talking to the guy there. He goes, yeah, our one guy that works here, he's a big Night Ranger Brad Gillis fan, and he was going to go, but him and his girlfriend broke up. And I got talking to him, like, well, let me see what you guys got, a lot of great shit here. Let me see what I can, do for you guys. And because he mentioned something about he was thinking about taking a poster over to see if they could get signed for the record store. And that's when I was like, well, let's see if I can get you guys some tickets and some meet and greets. So him, I think maybe his girlfriend, and then the owner, who I think the owner passed and he left it to his son. So his
Okay.
son's like late 20s. And his girlfriend, they came to the show. And, I showed Jack and Brad and Keri, all those guys, those pictures. And, I introduced them when they came in, and they got stuff signed for the record store. And Jack was really cool with them. He went over to the merch table and grabbed a shirt for one of the guys and gave it to him. And, it was kind of like a cool community outreach. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure,
we
sure,
got,
sure.
and so very cool place. It's called JL Records. They're on Facebook, on Instagram, uh, and um, Facebook and Instagram, and uh, find them on there. And I think they posted a couple photos and thanked Night Ranger. And if you're in Lafayette, Indiana, go check it out. Um, so it did that. Was it in Lafayette? I think, yeah. It's like me and Carrie then went and got lunch, which wasn't really lunch. It was like 3 beers. Um, and it's always the shit that fucking tastes like 6 beers. Um, so we went there. I showed him the Meta Warrior stuff. I'm trying to think where we went in Lafayette.
You took them to that store? Is that what you're saying?
No, no, no. After that, I went and got Keri, and we went somewhere and had some beers at a local brewery, and I can't remember the name of the brewery. There's the Beast with the Night Ranger Night Machine. Um, what else?
It looks like there was a pretty good theme turnout.
For the second night, yes,
Is that Wabash?
that was Wabash. I was pretty busy. I was pretty busy at both shows. Now, for Lafayette, here's a funny story. So, Indiana Hoosiers are in the
Playoffs.
are in we're in the playoffs. They're playing the champion. This show's Friday night. They're playing Monday night. And I was talking to Jack, before the show, and I was like, "Yeah, you probably need to say something about Indiana football. Playing." Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So on stage that night, he mentioned, "What about Indiana playing in the championship?" Boo! We didn't really think it out because Lafayette is the home of Purdue University, like their rival. And so yeah, that was, Jack was giving me shit. Yeah, thanks for that, Josh.
Yeah.
I fucked with him back. Like, you remember that time, you know, uh, remember that $20 you owe me? There you go, take that. But he did say it the next night in Wabash, and everybody erupted. So, but in Lafayette, they opened with "This Boy Needs to Rock." Um, they played "Can't Find Me a Thrill." They played "Rumors," and they played "Passion Play," um, which
Still have yet to see that song played live myself.
so there were some conversations, just say, well, what can be, change, blah blah blah, and during sound check, they played Passion Play. Now that theater in Lafayette sounded really good, but Passion Play sounded fucking phenomenal. So, a little bit later, backstage or whatever, I don't know, I was doing something, and Brad came over and was like, uh, "Hey, have a sound check." And I was like, "Dude, fucking theater sounds great." Passion Play sounded phenomenal. And Brad just walks right by me and goes over to Jack and it's like, "Hey, Josh said Passion Play sounded great. We should put it in the set list." "Oh, okay." And they scribble it down there for Ed to put on the set list. And, you know, Passion Play was then
Look
added.
at you, Josh,
I know.
steering the wheel.
I don't know about that. I mean, I can only steer what was in the sound check. I mean,
Right. If
you
they played
know,
it like if it played like
uh,
crap, then they wouldn't.
but I mean, we got that one in there. I can't like do Restless Kind that they've never attempted for in their life. So, you play, kind of the cards you got,
Right, right, right.
and then they closed with Rockin' America. So there,
Really?
yeah. So I know there's people out there that like that. I mean, to me, I don't know. I don't care. To me, there's a part of me that loves Rockin' America at the beginning because it's just like
It just kicks the crowd off.
it kicks the crowd off, and the majority of the people coming to see Night Ranger know Rockin' America, Don't Tell Me You Love Me, Sister Christian, When
When
You
you close
Close Your
your eyes.
Eyes. And I always think it's when I go see bands that I don't know, and I think I'm going to know three or four songs, and they open up with a song you fucking know. It's like, oh, okay. All right. Well, this is going to be
Where
interesting.
you would be waiting till the three-quarters of the way
Yes.
through the show for that song.
So, yeah. So
I see your point.
uh,
It's
and I think too, to me, it's like if you're playing, uh, one of the big outdoor festivals, right? And you're opening up for Brett Michaels, definitely open up with Rock America. Just come out and just, hey, we're not fucking Muhammad Ali, just kind of, taking her time, and then punching you in round eight. It's fucking round one, the bell just rang, and you're fucking almost, on the mat because we're coming out swinging. So,
look at it this way, Josh. I've every growing up and seeing Night Ranger in concert, Rockin' America was always last. When they threw in the beginning, it threw me off. But the more and more I've seen them have it opening, I'm okay with it too.
I brought up, it's like I always liked what they did on Live in Japan. Look at that. She's sexy. Um, uh, where they opened up with Touch of Madness,
That's what
and
they did back in the day. They
and
opened with Touch of Madness
well,
always, and they closed with Rockin'
well,
America.
what I'm saying is they opened with Touch of Madness and then went straight into When You Close Your Eyes. So you kind of have a hit at the beginning, and it's kind of a song you don't expect as track two. But I mean, I loved how live at Japan, there it's Touch of Madness, Brad's just wailing, and then it kind of dies down. Dun, 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 dun. Bow, now, 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 now. And it's like, whoa, shit. So I always,
I would love the set list to be just mixed up for different shows. Like don't I enjoy going to a show now, you know their set list if you've been to enough of their shows and you know what's coming next. If they
Mhm.
mix it up a bit, I think that's a good thing.
Well, you got to remember they got a lot more going on now with, they got, if most of these places have electronic screens in the back, even if they don't, they had the screen behind them. You got the smoke, everything's choreographed.
Oh no, no, I know
Yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah,
so
I know that.
it's a little, they got to keep it somewhat regimented. It's fun to see them when Jack throws them a curveball and they're all fucking scrambling. I love that. Well, I mean, even me, like so I always got to have a song in between when I go live. All right. So I got to look at, hey, if I'm going to go live on this song, I can't go live on the song before. I can't just stop, go through and, go to a different account, go
Right.
live. I got to get to, I want to do different vantage points. I got to think about, well, did I go live on this song for this guy last time? Um, so there's, certain things. And I remember asking Ed, and maybe it was this Lafayette show. I'm like, I'm trying, I was going to do something. So Secret has a really good, like when they got the
The
screen in the
backdrop, yeah.
back. Secret of My Success is a really good show to, or a good song to go get pictures, out by front of the house. So looking at the crowd down, it's just a great scenery. And I was like, are they doing Secret tonight? Because I didn't think they were. And Ed's like, no. And I'm not shitting you. About a minute later, we hear Secret starting. And we kind of look at each other, and we both look at the set list. No Secret. Well, Jack decided he wanted to do Secret, and so now I'm rushing to get to the front, front of the house to take pictures. But so that was the set list. Um, a little cool behind the scenes. There's Brad and Eric,
Yeah, I've
kind of
seen
right
that.
before they do the
What
warm up.
was that
So
at one of those shows?
that was at Lafayette.
Okay.
Um, so uh, so the show went great. They played a couple extra songs, and it really, you could tell it, playing that extra time really wiped them out. Um, so people were like, "Why don't you play 2 hours?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "Listen, I mean, you know, why don't you play 2 hours while they're sitting on their couch eating fucking
Chips and shit.
Cheetos and shit?" Uh, the guys aren't spring chickens anymore, and I could just see it myself that just playing 10 minutes more just took it out of them. I mean, they recovered and everything fine, but you could tell after the show, yeah, that was pretty. And plus, they hadn't played in a month, but uh, so they played a pretty long time. Now for the Wabash show, which was Saturday night. Um, Now most of you know I got my aunt, and I call the other girl my aunt, but it's my aunt's friend, the one that gave me the Night Ranger albums when I was 6, and all that stuff. Well, there's another aunt that I have, another one of my mom's sisters, that her and another aunt, another one of my mom's sisters, took me to go see Damn Yankees when I was like 12, opening up for Bad Company. So I would never got to see Damn Yankees on that first tour if it wasn't for them. So I'd always told her, hey, if you want to go to a show, blah blah blah. So the Wabash is a very good venue, good place to go. And my other aunt couldn't go, but my aunt Cheryl could. So I was like,
Was
well,
that what was your kid at that show? Was that the one that your kid was at?
you just gotta wait, man. I'm getting to
Oh
that
man.
point. So my so her grandson, you know, is 8. is the same age as my son, and they're cousins, so they know each other. So I was like, well, if our other aunt's not going, do you want to see if Mason wants to go or anything? And he did. So I was like, well, if he wants to go, I'll see if my kid wants to go. He does. And so my mom basically brought my kid, and my Aunt Cheryl brought her grandson, Mason, and they're both, 8.5 years old. So they went up Friday night, stayed the night. Saturday morning, they went swimming, and then they came to the show Saturday evening. So Saturday before we headed to Wabash, we all went and got lunch. So Ed drove one truck, I drove the other, and we all went and got lunch. There's the band and Ed. Um, yeah, it was, we all got talking politics and, fun heated debate. If you ever told me, yeah, one day you'll be fucking sitting at a table with Night Ranger and fucking, you know, tell them they're all nuts. But So that was fun. We went to Wabash. By the time we got there, most everything was set up. I had my kid show up. So we got them. That's my kid behind the drum kit.
Did you tell him not to hit it? He's hitting it.
Can you hear it?
No.
Anyways, he's back there banging on it. And he has a drum kit and stuff. So, he was able to play some of a beat. Now, Kelly's kit situated a little different. So he had a little bit of, you know, time trying to, um, you know, get around it. But, there they are, at the venue. So, um, it was kind of cool. Darren came over, and I don't know if I got any video, but let them, um, strum Bubba while it was plugged in. Um, we were back there, and Brad and Keri stopped over and took a picture with them. And
Nice.
huge meet and greet. A lot of people there, a lot of people, from Fans in Motion that we know, Carletta, Brian Bless, Debbie Knight. Um, I'm missing more. But they were all there. Uh, I went out for the group photo, but I was running just a little bit late. And then when I got out there, my kid was kind of having a little meltdown. He missed me and I hadn't been around and was crying. So I'm trying to comfort him. So I just told him, go ahead, do the photo. And I mean, it was a huge photo. I mean, they're all on the staircase. So
Right. Yeah.
and that's what I like. I was like, Fans in Motion has a life of its own. Like, you don't need, it breathes on its own. So
People have become friends just because of
yeah. So it isn't
the
like
site.
I have to organize it or you have to organize it or it's just like it's there. Um, and each of us has a responsibility. Okay, someone goes to the show and they're the ones that plan, hey, we're going to do a photo, at the merch and a time. And so it's like, you see that huge photo of them on the staircase or whatever. I had nothing to do with that. That's all fans, and that's what it is, and that's what I like about it. That this thing, is bigger than just one person. Um, got some cool photos. We used one on Brad's page. Uh,
I did see don't tell if you tell me it's coming up, it's where backstage you went live.
oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
So what did I do? I went down towards the end and I grabbed them. Now there's like some big wings on the side of that stage. So I I don't know if I was on Brad's page, but I went live on one of their pages. And I kind of panned down. You can see them in front of me. So they got to be on kind of like, up front, out front with the audience, but up close. So they got that. So then I took them around backstage. And as we walked back, it was Sister Christian. So it starts out just piano and Kelly. So I walk around, we walk around, and I see Brad messing with the cops. And so next thing I know, Brad goes, "Hey, come here." And he grabs my cousin Mason. So this is why they're playing Sister Christian. He's backstage there with Mason, and then he brings my other kid around. There's that. That was hard to see, but so that's
while the show's going on out front.
why the show's going on. So here's the one I kind of like is um all right, so you saw the Seven Wishes girl on my arm. So that's the show my grandma took me to go see when I was 8. My grandma took me to go see Night Ranger. And she got me the shirt with the girl on the back. I knew in 1985, when having one tattoo made you rebellious, that I was going to get that tattoo when I was older. And the only thing I did was I took out the Seven Wishes and I put 1977 in that same font, the year I was born. And when I got this 20, 25 years ago, no one was getting color. Everything was tribal and black and,
Right.
you know, that. And so I had color and I mean, it stood out. It was awesome. And plus I was fucking working out in the military. And so I'd wear shirts like this and girls would see it. Oh, it was different. And, so I always knew I wanted that, but I had that shirt and they've come out with the new Seven Wishes shirts. So I got each of them a Seven Wishes shirt. So there they are, side stage, watching Night Ranger. So that is my grandma's great grandkids. You know what I mean? It's like kind of carrying on the
Right, right, right.
tradition, what she did 41 years ago. And there's her great grandkids, on stage doing. So it's just kind of cool circle. Um, everybody that's on my Facebook page that's friends knows my kid loves clocks. Carletta brought him a couple clocks that she had. So there they are backstage playing with clocks, looking at the gears and stuff. Very cool. Um, so yeah, so there was cold as fuck after the show, cold as fuck that day. Um,
Well, I did see Keri also give your son his guitar at the end and
oh
said,
yeah, yeah,
"Hold."
yeah, yeah. So all right. So I went live on the Fans of Motion page. You could be where the way the stage was set up and the curtains, you could almost reach out and touch Eric. So we were there. Carrie, go to. I'll have to save it because I know Facebook erases it now after 30 days. But I went live, um, and Carrie saw us there. So you'll see Carrie throw him a couple guitar picks and stuff. And then at the end, thank you, good night. Carrie walks over with his Les Paul and just hands it to my kid. Says, "Here, take this home." And my kids holding it. Les Pauls aren't light guitars either.
No.
So, so I was just happy my kid, when he got it, he held it. And I hurried up and kind of grabbed it by the neck too and helped him with it. So, I'm letting him hold it. And then I let Mason hold it for a little bit. And we're watching them throw guitar picks and stuff out. And they leave, go backstage. And, it's quiet now to where you can hear, you know, and, um, my kid looks up to me and goes, "I can't wait to play this in the hotel room." Because he just thinks, "Hey, here, take this home with you." I'm like, buddy, he's just kind of joking. We gotta go put it back in the guitar rack. Um, but yeah, very cool, very cool. Carrie, I was talking with someone else in the Night Ranger crew, and we were talking about how good Carrie is with kids. You just, someone that doesn't have kids, you just it's just unique, not unique. I mean, but anyways, uh, Carrie's always great with them. They all are. I mean, um, but yeah. So there wasn't any deep tracks from
Wabash.
the Wabash show. I think they did High Road, which they didn't do the night before. But I think that was really about it. They didn't do Passion Play. Um, I might be able to see here. Um, if usually I take a picture of the set list just so I know when I'm out there running around so they opened again with This Boy Needs to Rock. they threw in High Road and then closed again with Rocket America. So yeah, so
Cool.
um, there was that. So Night Ranger in Indiana. Trying to think if there's anything else. So a couple things. One, did you see it was for those that don't know, I'm helping Ron Nevison a little bit with his social media. Not that there's a lot to do, do whatever. I just, told him I'll help you out. So we posted something about the 40th anniversary of The Ultimate Sin. So Ron Nevison, for those that don't know, produced both of the Damn Yankees records and the Neverland record that's coming out on vinyl. So do you remember Ultimate Sin? I mean, what's your
I
thoughts
do. It's the first Ozzy record I actually owned.
on? Yeah.
1986,
Yep.
87, 86.
January of 86. Um,
Cool album cover.
yeah.
And then the video.
Yeah. I mean, Killer of Giants, there's a decent record. Um, you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it is in the Aussie community, if it's loved, hated. I know there's a lot of people that love it. I think there's some people that don't love it as much because it's a little bit, I guess what they say like produced, but I mean, it definitely brought him back to, fucking Shot in the Dark was a huge hit.
Yeah.
So I got some stuff I'll show off here. So I saw these online, and I think they're from Canada. Let me see what this one is. Yeah, Canada. So you never know about Canada. 1986. Too hot to handle. That's what all the babes say about Danawan down in Florida. Too hot to handle. And not the sexiness, just the fact that he hovers around like 101 degrees all the time, sweating. Um,
Got a thermometer that pops out of my arm when I'm done.
there we go. So, Um, it wasn't expected. I just thought it was interesting. But Just a Gigolo, David Lee Roth, Summer of '69, Brian Adams, You're a Strange Animal, Galwin, which is the guy in Styx. Crying Over You, Platinum Blonde, Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds, Voices Carried Till Tuesday. Um, The Heat Is On, Glenn Fry. What else? Saving All My Love for You, Whitney Houston. Freeway of Love, Aretha Franklin. The Power of Love, Air Supply. Um, There Must Be an Angel Playing
Roxette,
with My Heart, Rhythmics,
Rhythmics.
Sentimental Street, Night Ranger, Things Can Only Get Better, Howard Jones, Lay Your Hands on Me, Thompson Twins, and I Got You, Babe, UB40 with Chrissy Hind. It's like someone's got fucked up and just,
That's a
made it.
1985 mixtape right there.
Yeah. But this one I like too. It gets better. Again, let me see if so this label is called Quality Records. Manufactured and distributed in Canada. So whatever. This says rock of the 70s, hits for the highway. But this is an MCA release. You see MCA right there?
I do see
Bam.
it.
Okay, so this was released in 1991. And this has the new MCA logo. Well, a logo they started using, I think, in 1990. Which 19 maybe 1991, you won't see that on many Night Ranger things. I think really that greatest hits that was released in Japan right around Neverland on MCA had that. But anyways, rock of the 70s. Do you want to hear these rock of the 70s hits that are on here? Now when I name
There's got to be some Molly Hatchet on there. There's
when
got
I
to
name
be.
it, I want you to sing the song.
I'm
Call
not
Me
saying
Call Me the Breeze by Leonard Skinner. Radar Love by Golden Earring. Closer to Home by Grand Funk. Roll On Down the Highway by Bachman Turner. Slow Ride by Foghat, and Hurry Sundown by the Outlaws. Some good 70 hits, you're getting stoned and lounging in your bell bottoms. Side 2, Ventura Highway by America. Country Road by James Taylor. Walk Away by the James Gang. Get Ready by Rare Earth. Back to the Island by Leon Russell. And to close out, Rock of the 70s, Hits for the Highway, Sentimental Street, Night Ranger. So that stuck out. So anyways, there you go. Just something I liked and just thought was funny. Found this the other day. It's a ticket stub. 38 Special and Night Ranger at Legend Valley in Newark, Ohio, which if
What
you're
year was that? Did that say 84?
1984, July 15th. So anybody that was from Central Ohio, they knew of Legend Valley. Outdoor shows, big shows. There wasn't many shows that they would have in Central Ohio that was huge. This was one place that would have some. And I remember when this show happened, so I had just turned 7. I wanted to go to this show, but it was absolutely you're not going. Like rowdy drunks, outdoors all day, hot sun. And I remember one of my aunts saying, I remember the last time there, I remember seeing a guy get his head slammed in a car door during a fight. At 7 years old, that was scary, but also intriguing. Like, well, as long as it's not my head, I
Yeah.
would like to see that, right? And I was just so mad I couldn't go see Night Ranger in 1984, but I found the ticket stub on sale somewhere for seven
I
bucks, I think.
saw 38 Special and Night Ranger together on the High Road tour, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when 38 Special is just one guy left, just Don Barnes and
What is this? Montrose ad from Rolling Stone. Ronnie's back and Bugs has got him. Unbearable excitement sizzles across the wide speakers as Warner Brother presents Montrose. So this would be like 1976, 77, I think, in there. But if you look, it has the names of the band members. And look right there. What's that name?
that's Alan Fitzgerald.
Alan Fitzgerald of future Night Ranger fame. You know, already in the Rolling Stone 5 years before. And I will leave you with this. What is this, Dave Nadelman?
That would be the cover of our intro that shows up on our
Oh
podcast.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody's got a satellite dish, but not everybody's got the Dawn Patrol. That's right, brother. So just your standard Night Ranger record. Boardwalk got it'd be like your kind of like I would say technically I would say your third print. Your first print would be promos without Bruce Cohn. Your next run
First
stock
press with it.
would be stock versions without Bruce Cohn. Your third versions would be stock versions with Bruce Cohn. Right there's Bruce Cohn.
Hmm.
If it doesn't have that, I want to say that's the first pressing of Boardwalk. Um, anyways, normally I don't even look at Dawn Patrol if it's on eBay or whatever, any of the other sites. But I was somewhere, I was like maybe sitting in a doctor's office or something. All right, well, yeah, just fucking doom scrolling eBay or something, and I saw, a Dawn Patrol record that was on there. Nothing stuck out with it. For some reason, I clicked on it. Just, that's, probably just bored. Like, oh, what is it? Is it a? I'm just kind of, none of them more valuable than anything else. Just kind of curious. I guess I was just, killing time. What, is it an RCA? So it was just a standard stock copy with the Bruce Cone. But something on one of like the third picture or fourth picture in caught my eye. I don't have the picture, but I saw kind of, I saw that.
Okay.
And I didn't know what that was. I mean, I knew it was Kelly and Jeff, but what is that? Is it just a clipping from a magazine? I don't know.
So you bought
Yeah,
it.
I just bought it. It wasn't outrageous, 15 bucks maybe. It's like the Night Ranger newsletter. So a photo I'd never seen before. Mailed to Kirk Brannon of 5140 South Lincoln Village Drive in Columbus, Indiana. And it is basically an order brochure. So back here they have all,
The stuff you can buy.
well, this has all of their favorites. So,
Oh, okay.
Jack Blade's favorite car is a BMW. Alan Fitzgerald's car is a VW pickup. Favorite color, Jack and Kelly are turquoise. Brad, Jeff, and Alan are blue. Their birth dates, where they were born, their favorite sports. If you ever go back to the David Lauser episode, way back you will know that Alan Fitzgerald's favorite sport is basketball. It talks about them and they're married. Jack's the only one with married two children now. All the rest of them are single, no children. Favorite musicians: Jack Blades, Paul McCartney, Def Leppard, Kelly Keagy, Journey, Brad Gillis, Phil Collins, Jeff Watson, Billy Joel, and Lionel Richie, Alan Fitzgerald, Keith Jarrett, and Oscar Peterson. Their hobbies: Jack Blades, water skiing.
So Fitz is a jazz guy.
Yeah, that's why him and Levy are on the same brainwaves. Um, and um, hobbies: water skiing is Jack. Hobbies for Kelly: picnic, walking on the beach. Brad Gillis, traveling. Jeff Watson, hiking and camping. Alan Fitzgerald, going to the movies. And then it has their real name with their middle names and full first names, which you would never do that today, along with
Right.
your date of birth and stuff. But you got that. And then,
Shit, surprised their social security numbers not
yeah,
aren't on there.
you know. So here is the order form. There is that. And the letter: Dear fans, we really appreciate your support and interest in Night Ranger. Due to the success of our albums, we have been touring extensively, so we apologize for not being able to answer your letters personally. But we do hope to see all of you at our show when we come to your town. Thanks and keep rocking, Night Ranger. So a black t-shirt band shot. Well, how much do you think that is? 1984.
That's going to be about $12.
1050.
Mm,
A white body jersey with maroon sleeves with the logo.
17.
You should have stayed where you were at. $12.
Really?
Bandana covered with logos.
7.
5.
Oof.
A 1 1/4 logo button.
2.
$1.50. Look at this. Man, we should, if we time travel, like what's that movie, 11/23/60 or whatever it is, like, you know, we would go back to 11/23/60 and not wait for JFK's assassination. Fuck that guy. We'd be waiting to 1984 so we could go order a shit ton of these. Pewter colored logo pendant with chain.
$7?
$4.50 for a Night
Shh.
Ranger necklace. Now, if you fancy pants rich boy, the white hooded sweatshirt with pocket logo. So white hooded sweatshirt with pocket logo.
17.
Ooh, close. $19. Look at you. Allow 4 weeks for delivery. Make checks or money orders. No cash payable to Winterland Productions. Blah 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 blah. California resident, 6.5 sales tax. Foreign
So
order.
you're going to go to that check cashing store and get yourself a money
Yeah.
order.
Prices include all postage and handling charges.
Ooh, that's with
Um,
shipping.
all
Nice.
orders, all orders outside U.S. Please add an additional dollar per order, and then you would fill your name out and rip that off. Anyways, who knows how little of these survived?
That's
And
cool. It's pretty, the condition is excellent, huh?
yeah, someone got it and just threw it right in that album sleeve. But like I said, it was just the picture was just that, and
So
I
the
just
description didn't say anything like that it had.
nope. I don't think they knew or cared, and probably most of the world doesn't. I don't know. Um, I mean, I don't know is anybody going to pay? I don't know. I mean, someone could put $10 on it. I would probably pay $10 for it. Just I'm a nerd, but it's like I said, just for me to click on it, now it's like it got now whenever I'm at the doctor, let's click on every Dawn Patrol, see what and there's nothing. Just happened to be lucky that I got that one, and so I don't like to message them like, hey, what's that? Because then maybe they take it down and Next thing you know, it's 35 bucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, 9.99. Yeah, fuck, You always need another version of Dawn Patrol, right? Right?
Well, you don't, but yeah, everybody, most people do.
Don't you fucking tell me what I need or don't need there, Vinyl Boy. All right. I think we have fucking talked way too long about shit we shouldn't have talked way too long on. So, listen, wherever you're listening to at on this, click the thumbs up, click subscribe, um,
The bell.
leave a comment. I will eventually comment back. Things have been a little hectic for the last about 4.5 years. Um, uh, tell your friends, you know, punish your kids by making them listen to us. Get the word out there, um, and follow the wonderful wide road that is Night Ranger. Um, yeah, so
Facebook,
Dave,
go there, go to Facebook, search
mm,
for Fans in Motion, Night Ranger Tribute.
Sentimental Street. There you go. We got the Night Ranger Sentimental Street. I think there's another one. Someone just posted. I got to approve it. Here, let me give it a shout out. It's going to be in the past when you guys watch this, but let's see here. Come on, Turbo. Michael Bruce. If any of you live in upstate New York, tomorrow night at the Strand Theater in Hudson Falls, I will be performing with Sister Christian, a tribute to Night Ranger. We are opening for Broken Hearted, a Tom Petty tribute. Great theater will be a fun show, 7 p.m. sharp. So there you go. Two
Where's
Night
this at?
Ranger, upstate New York. So
Probably
there we
can't even
go.
get there. Got to dig your, get your snow plow and
Well, listen, if you're a true Night Ranger fan,
you will do that.
you
Yes.
will you will be like Scatman Carruthers or whatever his fucking name was in Shining. You'll fly in
Running
and
through.
fucking get in one of the mules or whatever they're called and fucking drive that snow machine to the Overlook Hotel where the Night Ranger tribute band is performing. So,
Waiting for you with the axe.
hmm yeah. Well, I'm skipping all that. I'm going to the room with the fucking
With the
bear and the bunny or whatever. Uh, you know. So, anyways,
anyways,
Dave Nadelman, lead us out, my friend.
like he said, sign up on Facebook. Go to Facebook, hit join, and Josh will say, "Oh, are you a worthy character?" And it doesn't matter what your answer is because he'll probably say yes and accept you. That's where everything's going on. That's where you'll see all these videos and pictures that Josh is talking about. You'll meet some FIMs, you'll meet them at shows. You're never at a show by yourself because there's always one of them there. And when
There's
I
some
say one,
mother.
there's more than one.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Oregon, then you just see Orion. But other than that,
Mm,
and then we'll see
yeah.
you guys on the next episode of Fans in Motion.
I
Thanks for
don't
joining.
I don't want to be part of any organization that would have someone like me as a part of their organization.
Is
We will
that how you?
see
Is
we
that
will
how
s-
you're ending the show?
That is how I'm ending the show. We will see you later.
Peace all.
All right, here we go.
Do it.
Maybe. Let's try to what do we got here? Let's go down a little bit. Let's get some shit in the background. There we go. Maybe I need to what if I do this? No, shit, that takes it up. That's even higher. That's fucking worse.
You're recording. You know that, right?
I know.